What is going on, guys? Rogue TCG here, bringing the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG deck profile. Now, this week I am only doing videos based off of Discord deck suggestions, and so here today I am bringing you the suggested being Tri-Brigade Fire King. Now, this isn't the only Tri-Brigade deck that was asked of me. However, the other list suggested to me was Gladiator Beast, and unfortunately, I do not have as much knowledge on Gladiator Beast as I would feel comfortable enough to be making a deck list about it. But I do know quite a bit about Tri-Brigade, and I do know quite a little bit about Fire King, so I wanted to bring this deck to you today. So here we have Tri-Brigade Fire King. Now, this is not necessarily the most budget way to be playing the deck. Of course, we are playing the Mulcharmies in here, and we're opting to cut a lot of non-engine for our Tri-Brigades to increase the ceiling of our deck potentially. And because of that, we have this list right in front of us here today. So starting off our list, we're on triple Tri-Brigade Fractal. All the Tri-Brigades are going to have the Ignition effect, where we're able to banish Beast Warriors, or Wing Beast from our graveyard in order to cheat out an appropriately link-rated monster from our extra deck that is that subtype, except it is not properly summoned, so of course we're not able to be bringing it back from the graveyard if it's sent there. So we're on triple copies of Fractal, allowing us to send it from our hand or field to the graveyard to send a level 3 or lower Beast Warrior or Wing Beast from our deck to the graveyard, and then we'll have the Tri-Brigade effect. We're also on double copies of Tri-Brigade Kit. This is a fire monster that does have a graveyard effect, which is relevant for our Fire King, specifically Garunix. And Kit reads, if it's sent to the graveyard, we can send another Tri-Brigade card from our deck to the graveyard, except for itself. The target of which is going to be Tri-Brigade Nurball. Nurball, when sent to graveyard, allows us to add a Tri-Brigade monster from our deck to our hand, except for itself. And then lastly, for our Tri-Brigades, we're on one copy of Tri-Brigade Kairos, which does have an ability to special summon itself, where we can discard another Beast Warrior or Wing Beast from our hand in order to special summon this card from our hand, and then we'll have the Tri-Brigade effect attached to it. All of the Tri-Brigades are going to have that effect that I listed at the start of this profile, where we're able to cheat out monsters from our extra deck, so they're all going to be equally useful, at least while they're face up on the field. Our last Tri-Brigade card is going to be one copy of Tri-Brigade Revolt, which is necessary pretty much for any Tri-Brigade build, allowing us to go to a Shurig on our opponent's turn. That's it for our Tri-Brigade cards. Now let's cover our Fire Kings. We're on triple copies of Fire King Courtier Ulcanix. We're on triple copies of Fire King High Avatar Kirin in order to allow us to dodge targeted interaction on our fire monsters. Double copies of Sacred Fire King Garunix. When a card we control is destroyed, that is a fire monster specifically, we can special summon this card from our graveyard if it was there when the monster was destroyed, or our hand even if it wasn't there when it was destroyed. And if this card's normal or special, we can destroy a Fire, Beast Warrior, Beast, or Winged Beast from our hand, deck, or face-up field except for itself, and this card gains attack equal to half the destroyed monster's attack it had at the area when it was destroyed. Now, this is relevant for our Tri-Brigades because we're able to destroy Tri-Brigade Kit from our main deck in order to send a Nurball, and then Nurball is going to trigger, allowing us to either add Fractal, Kairos, or another copy of Tri-Brigade Kit in order to do our Tri-Brigade plays. For our other Fire Kings, we're on double copies of our Vata. When a monster effect is activated while this monster is face up on the field, we can quick effect negate the activation if we do destroy one other fire monster in our hand or face up field. If it is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, we can target a Fire, Beast Warrior, Beast, or Winged Beast in our graveyard, except for itself, special summon it, but its effects are negated and is destroyed during the end phase of the turn it was summoned. And then our last two of Fire King is going to be two copies of Legendary Fire King Ponix. If a monster that was originally fire is destroyed by battle or card effect, we can special summon it from our hand. If it's normal or a special summon, we can add a Fire King spell or trap from our deck to our hand. During the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed and sent to the graveyard, we get to add it right back to our hand. We're also on one copy of Barong. Face-up Fire King monster we control is destroyed by card effect, except for the damage step. We can special it from our hand, which is really nice to have a free special summon. And once returned during the standby phase, after this card was destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, add a Fire King monster from our deck to our hand, except for itself. We're also on one copy of Fire King High Avatar Garunix in order to pair with our Ulcanix. That's it for our monsters. Now let's cover our Fire King spell and traps, being one copy of Skyburn, allowing us to target an equal number of Fire Kings we control and cards our opponent controls and pop them all. If a Fire King monster we control would be destroyed by a card effect, we can banish it from our graveyard instead. Double copies of Fire King Island, and then one copy of Fire King Sanctuary in order to place that island face up on our field. We're only on one Sanctuary and two Island because there is the opportunity for our opponents to remove our island, and then we'd have to find another one, and that's what Ponix is for, so we can find the other island. We're also on double copies of Fire Formation Tenki on activation, allowing us to add a level 4 or lower Beast Warrior from our deck to our hand. Typically, we're going to be trying to add a Tri-Brigade Fractal from our deck to our hand, although we are able to add cards like Arvata and Barong if those seem to suit our needs a little bit more. That's it for our engine portion of the deck functionally. Now let's cover our non-engine, which is pretty much all hand traps, being triple copies of Ash Blossom, triple copies of Imperm, triple copies of Fugalas, and double copies of Nibiru the Primal Being. In our extra deck, we're on Tri-Brigades of Farajit, which allows us to basically get a free special summon of a level 4 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast from our hand, which is great for getting more Tri-Brigades on our side of the field without having to use the special summon effect like Karos or waste our normal summon on stuff like Fractal. And we only need 2 Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beasts in order to make it, which means we can make it completely with just the Fire Kings. We're on 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Bearbum the We're on 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Bearbum the Rampant Rampager. It needs 2 Tri-Brigade monsters, but typically this is one we're going to be cheating out with a copy of any of our Tri-Brigade monsters. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, we're able to add a Tri-Brigade spell or trap from our deck to our hand, and then put a card from our hand back to the bottom of the deck. We're pretty much only going to be using that effect of this card, unfortunately. It does have the effect where we're able to bring back our banished monsters, although it does require us to lose resources from our hand. And then our last Tri-Brigade monster that we're on is 1 copy of Shurig. If another Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast is special summoned, or this card is special summoned, we can non-target banish a card on the field. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, we can add a Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monster from our deck to our hand, with level equal to or less than the number of banished Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beasts that's in our banishment. We're on 1 copy of Garunix Eternity, Yang of Fire Kings, which is what we can use to special summon off of a Fire King Sanctuary, using something like a Kieran and a Garunix and the Garunix, or Garunix and Kieran. We're also on double copies of Promethean Princess because we are a fire strategy, as well as 1 copy of Salamangreat Raging Penis, 1 copy of Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf in order to add back our fire monsters, or even add back cards like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 1 copy of Zelantis to assist us with our OTK tools with our Raging Penis, 1 copy of Hita the Fire Charmer Ablaze if our opponent decides to Ash us, and generic tools of Typhon, Aggregator, Anima, IP Masquerena, and SP Little Knight. In our side deck, we're just on triple copies of Perulia, because this is the only hand trap that really came to mind that we want to also be considering running in this deck. Another card that I also recommend running, if that was something that you were interested in, would be triple copies of Droll and Lockbird, because it is quite good in this format for playing against Rise Heal or anything that isn't exactly Malice. But that's going to be about it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching, if you still are. Thank you to my 1 member. Thank you, Ari. If you want to become a member, please stay tuned to the end of all my videos where I go over details there. But again, this is going to be all for me. Thank you all once more for watching, and I'll be seeing you all later. Bye-bye. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you wanted to talk to more Yu-Gi-Oh players like yourself, I would highly recommend checking out our Discord server. Link is going to be in the description, as well as the QR code on screen. We do talk somewhat frequently about Yu-Gi-Oh and the current meta, so I would really enjoy to see you there. As well as we do recently now have channel memberships available on our YouTube channel, where we have 3 different tiers. We have Super Supporter at $2 a month, where you get loyalty badges, emojis, guaranteed comment responses, a shout out at the end of every video, as well as access to the members only Discord channel, where you get early sneak peeks at future videos. There is the Giga Supporter at $5 a month, where you have early access to all new videos about a day or 2 before they go up, as well as all the previous offers. And for $15 a month, we do have our final tier, which is going to be Femboy Fanatic. You get a guaranteed customized video every single month, as well as 1 hour of my time. Could be for anything you'd like. You want a duel? Absolutely. You want me to help build a deck? Absolutely. You want to play some Helldivers? Sure. I'll do anything for an hour once a month. But supporting does help me out quite a lot, and it does help me produce all of these videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be seeing y'all later. Bye-bye.